Hello everyone, and welcome to the Newsroom. This is where I, Jaiden, Cameraman Duran, will go through some of the most relevant news from the past weeks, things that you might have missed, and we're going to do it all in one video, one quick, short video, to the point video, and we're going to do it weekly. It's going to be me and you, and if you're new to this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we're going to come out with content like this on a weekly basis. But without further ado, let's get into this week's news. It said with a heavy heart that our beloved Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner, had gotten into a snowplowing accident on New Year's Day. He is currently in the hospital now. His birthday actually was, well, the day that I recorded this, it is today, Saturday. But yeah, so he had gotten into a snowplowing accident that really kind of did a number on him. I believe he suffered chest injuries as well as leg injuries. And obviously, if you've seen the post, he'd suffered some cuts and bruises to his face. All my prayers out to him, and to, a speedy recovery. And then, he's just as strong as his comic book counterpart. I really don't enjoy having to report on bad news. But this was more of just like a PSA to, keep him in your thoughts, and, hope he gets better soon. Obviously, it's going to be a process. It's going to be a journey to get back to, his normal self. So it's going to be, just cheer him on. Always cheer him on. Aside from that, we did get some exciting things, cooking up in the fandom world. So let's get into some of the more lighthearted things and hopefully, get excited for this 2023. How do we feel about Aaron Taylor Johnson being now one of the front runners for the next 007? He recently had a very successful, reportedly successful, I should say, meeting with the producers of the 007 franchise, and things seem to be going pretty well. Me personally, I can totally see it. I know a lot of people can totally see it, but it's just so funny. You see these things on Instagram and TikTok of where Aaron Taylor Johnson has come from, his kick-ass roots, and then just where he is now and being like one of the rising stars in Hollywood right now. Well, I guess not really right now, ever since he was Quicksilver, kind of set the groundwork for him to really start popping off, and he popped off in Bullet Train. So yeah, I think that would be a very, very fun time. I can see it. Can you? And speaking of action, we got the first confirmation that Stephen Amell will be returning in The Flash Season 9, which is the final season of this very long, kind of dragged out and fairly corny TV show, but we're not going to get into that.
You have failed this city.
For those of you who don't know, Stephen Amell is the Green Arrow in the Arrowverse, with the Flash, Supergirl. Just to know that he's coming back, even if it's just like a flashback type of thing. Like, I'm not really sure exactly how he's coming back because, spoiler alert, if anybody didn't watch this, spoiler alert, he dies at the end of his series. So we think. I have to rewatch because I'm actually not sure now. Steven recently posted this on his Instagram, and I absolutely love this picture, and I love the caption. When Barry calls, Oliver answers. As it always should be, even if it means defying death. But speaking of the Flash, there is another major Flash character that we sort of need to address. So it is apparently rumored that the higher-ups at WBD are considering keeping Ezra Miller around.
What do you mean by that?
This came out around the same time that we also got a now debunked report that there would be no Wonder Woman content for the first 3 years of the DCU that is being planned out by James Gunn and Peter Safran. Now, of course, in a very James Gunny type of way, he responds to these things on Twitter, and this is what he had to say. Oh, come on, James. We know you know what we're talking about. Listen, you don't have to address it, but something's going on, and I'm not exactly sure how I feel about it. This whole Ezra situation, it's not really my favorite thing. I think he should probably, we should reevaluate. I think there's things that need to be considered on both ends. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. Now, there's also this whole Wonder Woman thing, but that was completely debunked in the previous reply to the one I showed you. But the next interesting thing about that is that there's a slate in place for the next 8 to 10 years. That's really exciting. Obviously, there's the Flash still that's coming out. That has the potential to completely disrupt the DCU, to kind of put in place the new plan. But it's definitely very interesting. There's a lot of key components going into that moving forward, so I'm very interested. How do you guys feel about the 8 to 10 time frame that our buddy James outlined for us? And in other news, it seems that Hugh Jackman might have just spilled the beans on the title, or the potential title, for the Deadpool movie coming in 2024.
Ryan Reynolds getting a nomination in the Best Song category would make the next year of my life insufferable. It would, I have to spend a year with him shooting Wolverine and Deadpool, and trust me, it would be impossible. It'd be a problem.
The way I see it is that it could go one of two different ways here. One, this title is just an early title. It's just what they slapped onto the script and what they're calling it now, to kind of just give it something, just so it, a placeholder kind of thing. Or this could legitimately be the title of the movie, and it would make so much sense, and it would be very on par with how these two operate. It is so simple and so obvious. It's fun. Wow. I just realized I was doing this the whole time. Why am I doing this? That's so funny. I did not realize I was doing this. Okay, we're just gonna get right back into it. As I was saying, it was just a very, very obvious way of throwing in their dash of simple, just dry humor. And I would be for it. Honestly, I feel like this is the one movie where it could be a funny, simple title.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Wolverine and Deadpool, people. Now, one last bit of news before you guys get out of here. It is that The Mandalorian is reportedly getting a spinoff series. Now, there's a lot of speculation about what this series could be. I've seen people say that we're going to get a Bo-Katan spinoff series, or it's going to be a sequel to the Rebels. At this point, we're not exactly sure what it could be. I know we got, right now, the Book of Boba Fett. We also got the upcoming series, Skeleton Crew, which is all kind of in that Mandoverse. So I don't know. I don't know what could happen. Shit, I'm excited regardless. So, it's never gonna, you're not gonna see me excited for anything that comes out of the Mandoverse. So yeah, it's a win-win. And just to wrap things up, be sure to check us out at the agentsofandom.com store. And yeah, if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button, and see you next time.